What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Dave B. You're watching Dave B on TV, where we go beyond the everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis. And today I want to talk about people, right? Relationships, control, specifically control and things of that nature, because, we develop these unhealthy I guess you could call them assumptions about life. Like, what I'm saying? If you're dating somebody, right? If you're dating somebody, you start to get all kinds of, it's like this culture is like very possessive, you know what I'm saying? So you date somebody and, the first thing you want to do is you want to call them yours. You want to claim them as yours and shit like that. And so, you do shit like, this person's mine, you know what I'm saying? And you start to expect them to uphold certain images, you know what I'm saying? But the images that you expect them to uphold is ones that make you smile and make you happy and shit like that. But like, we got to chill out on that, And, this works both ways. Cause like, you could actually feel like you truly trying to help somebody, but like just based upon who they are and their journey, what you might be trying to present to them might not actually help them at all. It might actually just confuse them. You know what I'm saying? And like when we start talking about how you get blood on your hands or how you end up manifesting yourself in some kind of cage is basically when we do these kind of things. We try to give somebody a glimpse into our world, but that light ends up blinding them in their own world, or they become obsessed with that light, but they don't understand that light because it didn't come from inside them. It came from off of you. So, now they have to use you as a crutch or a reference for every little thing that they do. And if they start attaching themselves to that light or that feeling, whatever it is that you gave them, that's when they start to get in resentment energies and shit like that. And you start getting hit with waves, motherfuckers trying to make you feel guilty about shit, you know what I'm saying? All kinds of crazy stuff, starts happening, and like, my whole point, that kind of like goes with this post I had seen earlier that was like, I think it was just somebody talking about like, I'm tired of, I'm done trying to wake people up and shit like that, and I kind of understood what they meant by that, because, with this whole, with consciousness and shit like that, trying to make people woke about things and trying to make people consciously aware of spirituality and shit, like, of course, like, all I do is like, I want people to be spiritually empowered, right? So when you come to my channel, that's what it's about. It's about spiritual empowerment. It's about helping people, knowing yourself, helping people with certain concepts that we run into every day, and just spiritual ways of looking at them, you know what I'm saying? So we can break things down and we can know what things really are, like what's really going on in our lives, both on the surface and beneath the veil. You know what I'm saying? But not everybody is meant to live beneath the surface. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is like willing. Not everybody's ready. So like it becomes a thing where it's like it's almost irresponsible for you, if you're a spiritual individual, to walk around with some kind of like flag trying to convert. You know what I'm saying? Because then you turn into a someone who's trying to convert people, and it's like, when it really comes down to it, we all on a path of our own, you know what I'm saying? And just because somebody ain't aware of the same things you aware of, that doesn't make them any less, you know what I'm saying? And so that's just something we got to be careful of as a community as we move, But now, what's interesting about this year, this year, like, I mean, next year is about to be real cliquish, you know what I'm saying? It's about to be all about cliques and associations, like, you know what I'm saying? But not so much like, it's more like the quality of these associations. It's not just you being associated in general. This is going to be like your social circle going to matter. The people that you know and that know you is going to matter. We going to need to really create a community out this shit. You know what I'm saying? So like if the people around you are people that you don't trust or that you don't even like, then you going to be stuck. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be real hard to generate energy by yourself. And with, just the government and the way they moving and trying to separate people, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of how they going about getting everybody to kind of separate and, putting people in a position where they forced to be stuck in the house and shit like that, but also forced to kind of eliminate or take out of the question in-person contact, you know, it becomes a situation where now, you know what I'm saying, it's like it's going to be that much harder to have genuine connections with people. Everybody's connection is going to be at the mercy of a social media profile, or at the mercy of a fucking virtual reality chat room and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you know, social interactions, like, that's going to be one of the main things being attacked in this new age and shit like that, you know. And when I say new age, you know, the new age been here, but I'm just talking about in terms of how most people are classifying this shit, like of us going into this new year and things of that nature with this new system and shit, you know, all this new shit, you know, this new technology and shit. And so, you know, basically we got to make sure that we being mindful of that shit, and that we're not allowing ourselves to lose connection with, you know, that kind of shit. Like, I don't know, it's more so just to say, you know, be mindful of who you connected with now, because, you know, it's about to be a situation where that shit really locking down. But, like, just in general, like, at this point, I know you want to wake everybody up, but, like, not everybody meant to be woken up. Like, not, and you know what I'm saying, I hate even saying woke, because, you know, I don't even use that terminology in my own life, but, you know, just for lack of better words in conversation, I'm using it right now. But, like, it's really, like, it's not as fun or funny as people be presenting it. And, like, right now, like, you know, I start to get weary when certain things become mainstream, because I feel like now it's the this sense of the when the mainstream gets it, it becomes watered down. You know, and that's the same thing with what I'm seeing with this cookie cutter ass astrology, this cookie cutter ass spirituality. You know what I'm saying? These one size fits all spiritual groups and shit like that. It's like none of that shit is gonna mean anything. But see, what happens is, like, and this is just a little game. You know, this is the game that the you got to understand the people in power play, right? So what they do is they sit back and they watch people, right? Now, the world, we already know it's about influence. Like, if you have a strong enough influence, in a lot of ways, you have a lot more power than somebody with just a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Like, money can get things done, but influence can make it to where people, it's like things are expedited. So it's almost like, you know what I'm saying, money and resources is one thing, but if you also have a personality that you can persuade a large group of people, that means you'll have a lot of people who are willing to participate in what it is that you got going on. You know what I'm saying? And when you got people that are willing to participate, then you start to put yourself in teamwork, make the dream work type of energies, where now it's not only that they're participating, I mean, it's not only that you have the resources to do something, but you have the actual manpower to make that thing come into fruition and make it a reality. Because when a lot of group of people are paying attention to a thing and everyone's playing their position, you become like, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful. Way more powerful than if one person just had a bunch of money and was putting money into things that a lot of other people didn't quite believe in, but dude, they was just getting a paycheck. You know what I'm saying? That's like your McDonald's, versus the other one is like if you have a homegrown restaurant that, you know what I'm saying, a gourmet restaurant that's like, you know, a family built restaurant with like real, you know what I'm saying, that goes on to become one of the gourmet, you know what I'm saying? Just using a quick analogy and shit like that, but like real shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, so we know influence is one of the main things that they want, right? Even down to like the news and programs and things, the programs and world, like the world that they've created, right? This bullshit. If we all said we didn't want to use money no more, they would have to change the money system, or else their shit would fall. And that's the power that people don't understand that we have. And see, they use tactics to get us to divide and want to conquer each other and fight amongst ourselves, aka getting lost in the circus, so that, you know what I'm saying, shout out to whoever gave me that idea, because someone has said that, you know what I'm saying, they put on this circus to distract people. You know what I'm saying? You get caught up in the oh, I think it was just an Instagram video I had shared. But, you know, it's interesting to say, because it's like, it's real shit. It's like they throw a bunch of distractions and they throw a bunch of pleasures and things of that nature. And they understand that we came here based on the desires, and a lot of people haven't grown to separate themselves from their desires or control their desires or even understand their desires. You know what I'm saying? But that's the point of knowing yourself. You know, you got to know yourself. And some people have to lose themselves, or we all in some way have to lose ourselves to find ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But getting back on point, just you know, with this shit, like, so, you know, influence is one of the strongest. You know, it's like influence is strong. You know what I'm saying? And like, even when I was about to say with comparing influence to money and resources. See, money and resources, they told you what was valuable. You know, they told you had to get $1 million in order to do X, Y, and Z, or that this costs $1,000, or that, you know what I'm saying? They gave you that number value, but the people who run the world don't even use money. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, you know. But my point is to say, you know, with this influence, what they do is, if they sit back and they look for who's being influential, and then they try to come to that person, and what they do is they persuade you, right, with a bunch of your pleasures, like we just discussed. And those pleasures, a lot of times people fall for those. You know, oh, you want, you know, I bet you want a nice signing bonus, so you sign the contract, not really even caring. You just looking at the money and saying, well, I could work everything out later, but you done tied yourself to certain things that keep you in bondage, and you learn later on that you don't even have freedom no more. You know what I'm saying? You thought it was about money, but now they control your whole life, and they control your energy, they control your image. And that's how a lot of artists got fucked over, you know what I'm saying, early on in the industry, because what they like, the artist is thinking, I'm signing this for money. The label is like, we're signing this for your motherfucking soul, nigga. For your individuality, for your motherfucking ability to shine and attract attention, to influence. And your influence is more powerful than anything, like on some real shit. Your ability to convince somebody about your imagination and to organize a team around that, now you got a place in the stars. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, like, even the term celebrity, it's been fucked over, because celebrity, you know, celebrity is a concept that we develop from, I don't want to go too deep into that. I don't want to go into deep, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even got that much storage. But what I am going to say is, you know what I'm saying, so influence. So, you know, when it comes down to it, we know influence being such a power. So what they do is they sit back, they see who's being influential. They try to persuade you. And if they can't persuade you, if they can't beat you, they'll join you. AKA, they'll create a clone of your ass. So that's somebody else that they concocted, right? That they done found, and somebody who believes in they shit, and they use them, right? And they basically, it's kind of like they basically use them to copycat your energy. So this ain't even necessarily like I'm explaining it like it's some deliberate in an evil evil laboratory. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an evil scientist being like, oh, can we create a clone? Like I'm saying it like that, but no, they'll just find somebody who carries similar energy and likeness to you, and they'll use them and give them a bunch of resources in order to basically get in front of more eyes. And see, what they do a lot of times is they'll do this, and they'll do it a bunch of times to saturate the market. It's almost like you got to think about this shit like this. It's all business to these niggas. Like when we talk about the beings that run the world, you know what I'm saying? That's why like it's like everybody trying to sell you something in this world. You know what I'm saying? But to the point where, and it ain't like, life is about exchange of energy and shit like that. You know, when we start talking about selling, you know what I'm saying? Life is about exchange and expansion, X, Y, and Z. But it's like the way in which they try to get you to do it within their system, AKA making everybody obsessed with money and numerical value and you know what I'm saying, shit like that. It's like they've taken the general energy that we hear doing, AKA exchanging experiences, exchanging information, you know what I'm saying? And they created what they want you to how they want you to see it, AKA now you think cash rules everything around you. When it's like, no, it's more like, you know what I'm saying? It's not cash rules everything around you, but cash represents like energy and energy exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, but a lot of people, that's why people be fucked over. They be thinking like, you know, money really does rule the world, or money ain't shit without money ain't shit without you. You know what I'm saying? Money is a tool. All tools ain't shit without you, your spirit, and giving that away for the tool, nigga, you know what I'm saying? That's like a tool, man. I don't even want to break my analogy like that, but like it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if a tool were to buy itself, like, you know what I'm saying? And now it's just sitting on the toolbox. It's sitting in the toolbox, not unable to be used because you done sold your soul away. So you sold your soul in exchange for the tool. You a fool. When you as a motherfucking, as the user, you as the creator, you could have created a roundabout way to do whatever you had to do without the tool. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? That's real spirituality and shit like that. But, you know, they'll make a clone out of you, meaning they'll either saturate the market, make a bunch of mini-me's that do the same shit you do, only it's mad corny. And now, see, you got to understand the nature of business and the nature of psychology. None of us, like, if you see a bunch of, like, we all started, like, there was a group of people, right, who would hate on, I'm using, I don't know if this is a good example, right, but Lil Wayne, right? Now, we all consider Lil Wayne to be somewhat of, you know, at one point, oh, the greatest rapper alive, you know what I'm saying? But there was a time period where Lil Wayne was hopping on everybody's song. It was like maybe 2008-ish, you know what I'm saying, when the Carter 3 came out and shit like that. He was on everybody's song. Now, because he was on so many people's songs, it was almost like people just wanted to hate him. Same thing what happened with Drake. Drake, it's like, and you might be like, what? That doesn't make sense. You might still love this artist and shit like that. But I'm just talking about when you looked outside and talked to the general public, a lot of people was hating on these artists because they was everywhere. And it was almost like, because he was everywhere and you kept hearing him on all these different places, you started to kind of want to hate him. You kind of wanted to hate it. You wanted to reject it because you felt like, damn, too many people is being positive, or I'm hearing this individual too many times. I don't know if that's a good example, but it's like too much of anything becomes overwhelming and starts to become like distasteful. So people naturally start to be like looking negatively towards something that's overdone or over, you know, that they see too much of. But what they do, they either that's like saturating the market, where they put a bunch of the same thing out. So you might have a certain quality, right? Because you don't want to go with their system, they say, all right, they'll back up, but they'll create a bunch of clones to kind of like saturate the market to where now there's a bunch of people doing what you do. So what you doing is not that original anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now, as an artist and celebrity with some power, you got to know how to switch up and always be ahead of the, you'll always be ahead of the game if you doing what's true to you. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, your spirit gonna go through transformations. And if you a real artist, you gonna want to do different things. You're gonna be inspired by different things. You're gonna see yourself going through different transformations and phases in your life anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? It's when artists start to grow, but then they start to consider too much about other motherfuckers who's not in their position, like AKA, oh, my fans want me to be the old me. Man, fuck that shit. You gotta be you regardless. They going off of idealism. They going off of a memory. Memories always look more precious. But guess what? The second you try to do some old shit that is not even in your vibration, it's gonna come off. People not even gonna fuck with it, and then they gonna forget you the next day. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be smarter. You gotta understand. Also, when you put yourself in a position, you gotta make sure you know. And you remind yourself that you in that position for a reason, and remind yourself like, no, I'm in this position because I worked to get here and I reached a certain awareness. And don't get too cocky. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too cocky. Don't get too arrogant, but also remind your equilibrium. That's the key. But remind yourself, nigga, I'm here where I'm at for a reason, and you where you at for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But no ego involved. It's just real shit. It's like everything is about positioning. There's always levels to this shit, even the spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I was like talking about earlier with the cookie cutter ass shit going on right now, where now everybody is like, y'all got to be prepared. Everybody gonna be talking about a zodiac sign now. Everybody gonna be talking about spirituality and a spirit. Everybody gonna be talking about a soul and what a soul is. And the problem, like, you already know this culture, everybody gonna think they motherfucking right when they not right all the time. A lot of time these niggas be dead wrong, and they be, you know, telling you, setting you on a path. And if you wasn't using Jupiter being in Capricorn to really work out work out the realistic aspects of your spirituality, I don't want to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? Because like what it is like, because you know Jupiter falls in Capricorn, and we was going through that period, this whole 2020, people are exhausted. And now that Jupiter is in a spot that's not so heavy, as Jupiter moves forward into Aquarius, people are going to start wilding and wanting to be feeling like they're knowledgeable about spirituality, or feeling like because of their experiences they know something. And it's going to be a lot of know-it-all energy. It's going to be a lot of like people with their head in their ass but talking like they talking like they know something. You know what I'm saying? And like it's going to be, you know what I'm saying, everybody, you know, basically the people like us who've been on the internet really talking about some real shit, they going to start trying to talk like us, and we going to be already on to the next shit, you know, because like I said earlier, that's how it goes when you a real spirit. You not with the mainstream, because the mainstream, only thing the mainstream be doing is shit that works, or shit that got a lot of attention already. So there already be a lot of energy there, and it be exhausted. It'd be like you know what I'm saying, an exhausted ass space. And that's why people start to get distasteful, you know what I'm saying? But back to my clones thing, they'll either create, you know, saturate the market, or they'll create, and that's if they can't create another individual that basically does the same thing you do, just in a different position. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how, like, I even think that's how like industry plants work. You know what I'm saying? An artist comes up with something original, all of a sudden there's like 30 other niggas with the same exact sound. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, like, you know, because like I said, in this world, everybody trying to sell you something, and everybody is convinced that they're in a race, but they don't know what race they in. They think it's a physical race. Everybody want to race to get as much money, this much money, or people want to race, you know what I'm saying, with the color of their skin. Oh, I'm better than y'all because I came from the original, blah, 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 blah. Shut the fuck up. You wasn't there. You wasn't there, nigga. That shit don't even matter. Like, life is, like, do y'all not realize? Oh, somebody alarm going off. Somebody, motherfucker, I don't think it's mine. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it gets to a point. Matter of fact, let me go check, bro. Let me go check, just in case, bro, because I'm not. Oh, no, that shit went off. Okay. Yo, I'm about to say, you know what I'm saying? But real shit, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, either they'll create a clone for you, you know what I'm saying? They'll create a clone, and, you know, they do this so swiftly and shit like that. But, you know, my whole point, I forgot what I had said in the beginning of this video, though. Just talking about, you know, yeah, everybody trying to sell you something. Everybody in a race, yeah, that shit don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that shit don't really, yeah, life is different now. Like, I can't express it enough. And that's my point, why, and that took me full circle. My point, don't waste your motherfucking time trying to convince nobody or nothing right now. Like I said, at this point, the only way, I'm convinced, it ain't no a thing where we, like, before we can talk a good game and shit like that, and maybe I used to have faith that maybe if I spoke a certain way, I could maybe help people kind of see things differently. But I'm starting to see the extent of that and be like, you know, no, at this point, I'm not trying to help nobody who's not trying to help themselves. And like, it's already been like that for real. I'm not trying to help nobody who don't want to help themselves. And you got to be able to, like, right now, like, we a lot of separation is going on, man. A lot of themes of being an individual are going on. But with Aquarius energy, it's the individual who knows how to connect and knows how to be an individual and have an organization of individuals, and everyone play their part so that we can organize and create a community. Now, community is important because, see, like All Soul Group on Instagram, you see how powerful we are? You see how it's like we might be a small percentage of people, but because of the energy that we recycle through our own community, the energy that we create, it doesn't even matter who's on the outside, or, and I don't even like to say it like an outside inside thing, but it's a community. With a community, there's a limit, there's an edge of it. And you see the energy that we conduct within our community, if we keep on with that, we can get a lot more done than if we was out trying to spread out, trying to, if we was too spread out and we was trying to, trying to spend resources over here and resources over there. It's like, nah, like when you circulate within your own community and your community grows, and the individual, if everyone in that community is a true individual, we naturally expand to new spaces to reach different people. You know what I'm saying? Naturally, we gonna expand and reach new people. But it's like, it's all about how we nurture each other within our own community and shit like that. And that's a whole different topic and shit like that. I don't want to blend that with this, you know what I'm saying? But this was just to kind of speak on, like I was saying earlier, like, we getting to a point now, bro, like, it ain't no convincing no more. It's like, the only way we can convince is just by doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can sit here all day and talk about X, Y, and Z, talk about plans, talk about this, talk about that, what could be, what we shouldn't do, what we should do, how we could do it. Motherfuckers is not listening. And that's in part with Aquarian energy. And then when we go into 2021 to 5, an individual feeling, everybody is, even if people aren't being individuals, they will rebel against you for not co-signing whoever they following. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, people ain't even listening right now. Aquarius ain't really the listener sign. You know what I'm saying? And like, that's no offense, but Aquarius, if you talking to an Aquarius, they'll start having their own conversation inside their head before they really considering what you saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to understand, everybody kind of going to be on that vibration. And like, when we talk about the shifts that we've been going through, I mean, there's been massive shifts. And then now, the structure changed with the gut. Look, nobody is listening to nobody. So you might as well just show something. Show something. Because I don't think people are gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, and keep, if you are speaking your truth, keep speaking. It's not to say stop speaking. Nah, keep talking. But I'm just saying, don't get so frustrated on a one-on-one level when, like, or don't be trying to present information in a way where you start to basically put a target on yourself. You know what I'm saying? All up in your family, knowing damn well your family not even in a space to handle the magnitude of the truth of the situation. You know what I'm saying? But here you are trying to dump all this shit on them. And now you made them aware of some shit that if they fall into some shit that if they were to ask you for help because you on your own individual path, you probably ain't even equipped to help them. And that's the point. It's like, we set people on paths on accident, especially when we know what's going on behind the veil. We fuck around, we tell somebody certain things and they might not be ready for that shit. Or they might be in a position or a stage in their life where knowing too much can start to destroy everything that they've built. Like, for instance, some of these elders, they've been in their ways for so long. They've built these circles and things of that nature that it would be a lot more devastating if they knew the truth and that they you know what I'm saying? Because now they got to separate from their friends and shit like that near the end of their life. And like, of course, as a strong spirits, we know what's going on. But like, look, we here to connect. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take away people's connections. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to take people's right to just live their life away based upon you knowing some information that you think that, I got the truth, so I got to tell everybody and I got to, it's like, we got to get out of that ego. Because like I said, even with the cookie cutter shit coming in right now, it's like, the streets is dead. And what I mean by that is just like, they are being flooded. This is like a Noah's Ark time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, man, if you didn't build your ark while Jupiter was in fucking Capricorn, nigga, if you not in a space where your mindset and your feelings and emotions are able to float above water, aka the influences that, that they trying to push out and shit like that, you're going to get washed. And it hurts to see people that you love get washed up, but That's the name of the game in this shit. Like, this shit cold. You know what I'm saying? This shit cold. Like, we can't. It's the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the game straight up. Like, ain't even nothing to really even say anymore about it. You know what I'm saying? It's just the game, bro. It's just how shit go. You know what I'm saying? So, we just gotta remember to be wise and keep this shit going. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stay strong. Like, keep doing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we in this bitch for a reason. And so, do what you can. Do what you can. Be the example. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these motherfuckers run you ragged. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, peace out. Much love. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Much love.